I'm Lin, the youngest widow in this town. In the 5th year of our marriage, my husband died of asthma. Now I'm left raising our young son. I never remarried, never sought another man, struggled to hold this family together. 3 years after his supposed death, I finally discovered that 3 years ago, the man who died of asthma wasn't my real husband. The man who pulled me from despair, who swore to care for me all his life, had schemed to abandon his family, faked his own death, all to build a home for his first love and her daughter.
Alan Zane, are you out of your mind? For that woman, you actually staged this elaborate death hoax, made your own mother and me cover up your lies, claiming you had a twin brother. This is madness.
Father, Jenny and her daughter have had such hard lives. Bringing them here means they'll be cared for.
You disgrace. You'll be the death of me. Do you realize, since your fake death, Luke lost his father that day. Rose mourned you for 3 years. She even sold all her dowry possessions to support the family. How could you betray her?
Father, from that day, I vowed to care for them. The identity of Alan Zane will be buried forever.
Don't you dare walk away.
As for Rose Lin, I've given her a son. At least she won't face old age childless. That's payment enough.
You're beyond redemption.
If you hadn't saved me from despair back then, all those years ago, I wouldn't have stayed loyal, mourning you for 3 years.
That's her, the Lin family girl. Rumor says she was kidnapped and assaulted.
Her? That ruined woman? How could she throw away her virtue, dare show her face here?
Exactly. She should hide in shame from the public scorn.
Through no self-respect at all.
Rose Lin, I love you. Will you marry me?
I'm tainted.
I don't care. I'll cherish you always.
I will. I was worried the Zane family would die out, declined my parents' advice to remarry. Yet you abandoned us for your cherished white moonlight Jenny Kent, deserted your wife and child, faked your own death. I observed 3 years of mourning for you. Alan Zane, this marriage of ours, it's time to end this now. Luke's only 7 years old, Alan Zane. How could you bear to let him grow up without a father?
Mom, did Dad pretend not to know you again?
So, Luke always knew you were his real father. That's why he kept calling you Dad, not Uncle.
Dad!
You've mistaken me. I'm your uncle, Peter Zane. Please sit.
I thought Luke missed his father so much he couldn't tell apart his uncle who looks just like his dad. Never imagined a child's eyes see everything clearly. No wonder Peter Zane has been so kind to us. He'd often bring us meat, vegetables, and money. Brother,
I got these, meat and vegetables. Take them.
thank you, brother.
Here's some food ration coupons. Keep them too.
Thank you, brother.
We're family. It's nothing.
Turns out, I was wrong all along. This truth. It's so cruel. Luke, if Mom remarries someone else and finds you a new dad, would you accept that?
Mom, I don't know why. Dad keeps pretending not to know me. But since you don't want him anymore, I don't want him either. Don't cry, Mom. Wherever you go, I'll follow. If Dad won't protect you, I'll be your protector.
Okay.
Hello?
Julian.
Rose, you finally called me about what we discussed. Have you decided?
I've made up my mind. I'll remarry you.
Really? Yes. Fantastic. I'll come get you now.
It's too late. Come tomorrow.
Right? I was being hasty. How about I'll send Wayne to fetch you tomorrow. He'll pick out some fine wedding dresses.
As long as you treat Luke as your own, I'll agree to everything.
Don't worry, I'll treat Luke as my own son.
Commander, what's got you so cheerful?
Tomorrow, go to Peter Zane's house to pick up Madam. While you're there, select 2 more beautiful wedding gowns.
Commander Jones, you're getting married? Is it that girl?
Get out of here. Me getting married isn't exactly breaking news. There's only her. I've always said I'd marry no one else.
For 3 years, Julian Jones approached my parents over a dozen times with proposals. He stayed single all these years for me. But because of Alan Zane, I kept disappointing him. Now, it ends here.
Rose, this family has been holding on only because of your efforts. Look at me, bedridden and helpless, while you've been caring for me tirelessly for 3 years. You've really been through so much. Our family owes you more than we can ever repay.
Mom, I'm just doing my duty. Come, let's eat.
Jenny, the commander's orderly told me today. The commander's wedding is in 2 days. We're all invited to attend the celebration.
Peter, you've done exceptionally well. The commander values you so much. You must be excelling in your duties.
Dad, you're amazing.
Sis-in-law, come eat while it's hot.
You old hag. You're just wasting resources. Sis-in-law, how filial of you to care for others when you can barely manage yourself. Seems to me you're just putting on a show, now that Peter's watching.
Here, have a seat. Sis-in-law, Alan is gone. Even if not for yourself. Think about Luke. Have some more.
Uncle, I'll help Mom serve.
Luke, didn't you always call Uncle your dad before? Why change now?
I was young when I mistook you for Dad. Now I understand. My real dad died 3 years ago. Don't worry, I won't make that mistake again. Dad? Dad, where did you go? Can I come next time?
He's my dad. Ask your own dad to take you.
He is my dad.
I'm your uncle, not your father.
Luke, stop that. He's your uncle, not dad. Brother, I apologize. The child misses her father dearly. You and Alan look so alike.
Children mistake identities easily, after all. He has no father.
Kids will be kids. Let's go.
Mom, why won't Dad acknowledge me?
Luke, your father passed away 3 years ago. That's your uncle, not Dad.
But Uncle feels like Dad.
Well, That's good. Let's eat. Although, I'm Luke's uncle, but I've always treated Luke as my own biological son. We're family. From now on, let's drop the formalities.
That's right, sis-in-law. You've observed the 3-year mourning for Alan. We've all witnessed your devotion. Rest assured, we won't abandon you. A widow and her child without a man will struggle in this world.
Daddy, should we let them leave?
It's all right. We'll move out soon.
Sis-in-law, though Alan left us early, we're still family after all. If you ever need help, just tell me. Don't bear it alone.
Alan Zane, because your son won't call you father. Do you regret it now?
But
You chose to fake your death, abandoning us. Luke, had enough?
I'm full, Mom.
Brother's right. No matter how close, you're not Luke's real father. Even without a man, we can thrive on our own.
Madam, let me accompany you in.
Thank you for bringing us here. We can take it from here.
All right.
Let's go.
Guards. What are you doing here?
Comrade Peter, the commander sent me to bring his bride to pick a wedding gown. Why are you two here?
School's starting soon. Buying our daughter a new backpack. By the way, the commander's getting married?
Exactly. Our commander is finally settling down. Take a guess. Who's the lucky bride?
Rumor has it, he's loved someone for years. Don't tell me.
You're right. It's that woman.
But I heard she's already married.
I only knew the commander finally got his true love. That's all I know. The wedding's in 2 days. All our brothers in arms must be there.
Rest assured, I'll bring my wife and daughter to congratulate the commander.
Good.
Let's go.
Then we'll head over first.
Okay.
Mom, aren't we going to look at wedding dresses?
Could I get some of these? Luke, you'll never have to envy other kids for candy again.
Not giving you any.
So sweet.
Thanks. Let's go. These.
Total is $3.85.
Here, Luke. Have some candy.
Mom, you have some.
Luke, eat up. Is it good?
Mom, it's so sweet.
Let's go check out the wedding dresses.
Ma'am, you have great taste. This dress suits you perfectly. Would you like to try it on?
Please take it down for me to try. Luke, wait here for Mom, okay?
Mom looks so beautiful.
This must be for the wedding. Bright red is perfect for celebrations. So many customers come here, but you're the first to wear this dress so stunningly.
Though this dress is beautiful, it's not right for me. I lost my husband. I shouldn't wear red. I'll take that plain one instead.
Isn't that Rose Lin? Why is she here? The orderly said the commander's wife is here trying dresses. Could it be... Sis, what are you doing here? Are you planning to remarry? Sister-in-law, what are you doing here, Dot? Don't tell me. You're thinking of remarrying. How could you do this to Alan's memory?
Is this how you honor your late husband?
I've observed the 3-year mourning period for Alan. By custom and reason, I owe him nothing more. Luke's father abandoned him. Should I let my child carry the shame of being fatherless forever? Don't you agree, elder brother?
She makes valid points. You've done nothing to dishonor Alan. Trying on wedding clothes isn't a crime.
My mom looks beautiful in any outfit. Who decided she can't shop for herself?
What do you know, you brat?
This is the new backpack my daddy bought me.
Look at your
raggedy hand-me-downs.
This backpack means nothing. I'm getting a new dad soon.
What? Sister-in-law, are you truly remarrying?
Since when do you control what clothes I wear?
Don't get cocky. She only survives because of him. Without your support, they'd have starved years ago. Ungrateful wretches. Rosalind, I'll see you exiled from this household.
Luke, I bought this imported backpack as a reward for your perfect score. Take a look. Do you like it?
Thank you, Uncle. I already have the old backpack that Mom hand-sewn for me.
This is a premium imported brand. Yours is too worn out.
But this backpack was stitched by Mom herself. No amount of money can buy this.
Luke, go do your homework now. Elder brother, please stop sending gifts to us anymore. Though we're a widow and her son, we won't keep taking advantage of you. We're self-reliant. We won't starve. Besides, we'll be moving away soon.
As your elder brother, shouldn't I take care of you? Don't be formal with me. I'm Alan's blood brother. Must you treat me this way?
You said it yourself. You're just my brother-in-law, not my husband. No right to discipline how I treat you.
Sister-in-law, why have you and Luke suddenly turned against me?
What did you expect? How should I act? Treat you like a husband? Caring for us? You said it. I'm just your sister-in-law. Keep proper boundaries, or your wife and daughter might see and misunderstand. If there's nothing else, stop bothering us.
Rose, you've had it rough.
Dad, these are small matters.
Rose, your sister-in-law's gambling debts. Have you been paying them off all this time? If this family didn't have Rose, I don't even know how we'd survive.
Her. All she does is gamble and waste money. When has she ever cared about this family? I've told Peter countless times, but he never listens. Without Rose, this family would have fallen apart.
Dad, Mom, I won't be able to look after you anymore.
You're leaving?
My parents miss Luke. I'm taking him to stay with them for a while.
Well, maybe that's for the best. Old man.
Say something.
What can I say? Rose has given everything for this family. She has done nothing to wrong us.
What?
Daughter-in-law out there could compare to Rose. It's Alan who failed her and the child. If she remarries and takes her son away, we can't even complain.
So pricey. These 2 cans wiped out all my savings. But when I give these to Luke and Rose and apologize properly, they surely won't stay mad at me. Luke, I bought this malted milk powder for you. About what happened today. I was in the wrong.
Uncle, my mom told me whatever I want in the future, she'll buy it for me. So I can't accept your gifts. You can keep it for Tina.
Luke, but didn't you always wanted malted milk powder?
Daddy, what is this? I want some too!
How many times must I tell you? I'm your uncle, not your father.
This is malted milk powder that my daddy bought for me. If you want some, ask your own dad to buy it. Don't you have a father?
Come here, Tina. Have some more. Is it sweet?
Uncle, is there anything else? If there's nothing more, we need to start packing our things.
Brother, Luke simply refused to accept your gifts. No need to be this petty.
Are you really leaving? Are you really leaving?
My parents miss Luke. I'll take Luke home for a visit. Anything else? If there's nothing else, you can head back first. Take these things with you.
Rose. Luke, why don't you stay a bit longer?
No need, Uncle. Go spend time with Tina instead.
Let me walk you out.
No need, brother. We're not helpless. We can manage. Go take care of those who really need you.
Just go. Good riddance. With them gone, the house and Alan are all mine.
I'm sorry.
Don't trouble yourself. Let's go.
Let me help you, madam.
Thanks.
Madam, you're too kind. Our commander struck gold, marrying such a lovely wife. He's so lucky to have you. Let's get in the car.
Is that the commander's wife coming back?
What does the commander's wife look like?
Madam is so beautiful.
What stroke of luck did the commander get to hit the jackpot and marry such a goddess?
Luke, greet the uncles properly.
Hello, uncles.
What a smart kid.
Come here, kid, little one. Here's a welcome gift.
Take it. Say thank you quick.
Thank you, Uncle.
What are you standing around for? Come help immediately. The commander's waiting.
Right.
Madam, let's proceed first. Come. Luke. Madam, you and the child wait here. I'll fetch the commander.
Very well.
Rose, sorry to keep you waiting. This here, I asked the chef to specially make this chicken for you and Luke, plus a few meat dishes. Not sure if you'll like them.
I observed 3 years of mourning for Alan Zane. Barely touched meat during that time. Poor Luke suffered along with me.
I was being too hasty. Didn't consider things thoroughly. When you're here, you treat it as your own home. Don't stand on ceremony. Come, sit. Luke, sit.
Will you treat Luke as your own son?
I will. When I proposed marriage, I told you then, no matter what happens or what comes our way, I'll always care for you both properly.
As long as you're good to Luke, I'll manage this household well.
Come eat, Luke.
Say thank you to Uncle Jones.
Thanks, Daddy Jones.
He's just a kid, sometimes speaks without thinking. Please don't take offense.
Not at all. Luke's very bright. I'm quite fond of him. Rose, you're too thin. You need to eat more.
Nice, huh?
It is. But today's the commander's wedding. Is this color appropriate for the occasion?
What's wrong with it? I'm making you look good.
Let's go.
State-owned restaurant.
The commander's wedding is so extravagant. When will you throw me one like this?
Yeah, Dad, when will you marry Mom properly like this?
When I become regiment commander myself.
Comrade Peter's here.
Which family's daughter did the commander marry? This wedding's so lavish.
Didn't you read the invitation? The commander's loved Madam since childhood, but she was already married, so he remained single.
So Madam's remarried now?
I heard the bride's former husband died, left her and the child struggling in hardship. Luckily now, with our commander, their family guess it's a blessing from fate.
A while back, I saw sister-in-law trying on wedding dresses.
No way. It's impossible.
Why are you shouting? You startled me. The commander and his wife are coming out. To Commander Jones and Comrade Lin, a long and happy marriage.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
The bride's surname is Lin.
Luke, come with Uncle to get some candy, okay?
But Mom!
Your mom and the commander will come down shortly.
Don't worry, Wayne is with Luke. Nothing will go wrong.
Go on.
Let's go.
Must have misheard. Just same surname.
Peter, you're overthinking. The bride's so elegant. Can't be sister-in-law. Besides, she took Luke to her parents' home days ago.
Makes sense. Rose loves me so much. Wouldn't just remarry. Must have misheard.
Dad, why is Luke Zane here?
What did you say? Luke? Why is Luke here? Then Rose must be. Luke, what are you doing here? Where's your mom?
My mom doesn't want to see you. Uncle, stop asking questions.
But from Luke's behavior, it seems Peter Zane's relationship with his sister-in-law isn't good.
Dad, Luke Zane is such a little liar. He said he was leaving, but tagged along for dinner anyway.
Peter, Rose Lynn must have heard you say yesterday about the commander's wedding today. So she dragged Luke along to mooch a meal? Well, to be fair, those two have never had decent food before.
True. Rose and her son have always struggled. Scrounging meals make sense for them. Luke, if you wanted to eat here, you could have just told me. I'd have brought you properly. No need to sneak in.
No thanks. My dad feeds me just fine.
Your dad? But isn't your dad?
Comrade Peter, the commander asked me to look after Luke. Your hostility toward a child is completely out of line.
Peter Zane, stop staring. Your house got trashed.
What could happen to my house?
It's been vandalized.
What? Impossible.
Peter, wait for me.
I vow to honor and cherish our marriage.
No matter what challenges we face, with the party as our witness.
Luke, eat candy.
Thank you, Uncle Lester.
Good boy. wishing Commander and Madam eternal happiness. May you have children soon.
Eternal love, blessed with offspring.
To Mom and Dad's eternal union, may children come swiftly.
Great. Let's drink together.
Luke, be good and stay with Uncle Lester. No mischief.
Don't worry, Mom. I'll behave.
Everyone, eat and drink your fill. Pardon our modest hospitality.
Old Beastard? Like your Zane family's daughter-in-law owes me 8,000 yuan. If I don't get my money today, this house becomes ours. You hear me?
Mom, Dad. Who are you people? Why are you treating my parents like this?
Debts must be repaid. That's the law. We're here to collect. And you dare ask who we are?
You...
Fine. I'll spell it out for you. My name's Scarface. Your Zane family's bride owes me 8 grand.
Scarface? The casino boss? From the South Side Loan Sharks? He says our bride owes him 8K. Could it be? Scarface, this 8,000 is way too much.
I'm a loan shark, not a charity.
Scarface, we really don't have 8,000 right now. Look, can you give us 3 more days?
3 days it is. 3 days from now, if you can't pay up, this house becomes ours. Let's go.
What's going on? Why does Scarface say we owe him 8,000 fodder? That's 8 grand. Even saving for 10 years, I couldn't repay that.
It's all because of your wonderful wife. If she hadn't gambled, Scarface wouldn't have chased us to our home.
Rose Lin?
Alan, what happened? Why is the atmosphere so tense?
Scarface claims we owe him 8,000. Says it's from the Zane family's daughter-in-law.
Is Scarface the man with the facial scar? He's come here before, multiple times. Seems it's about your sister-in-law's debts. I always bailed her out of trouble before.
Just as I thought. Never imagined she'd develop this vice. Does she have any sense of motherhood?
Rose would never gamble and take loans. This is clearly your doing. It was clearly your doing.
Dad, you can't just use the fact that Rose Lin is a widow to throw all the blame on me like this.
Dad, I know you favor my brother's wife, but a wrong is still a wrong. This money can't possibly come from us.
How could you be so blind?
Peter, have you forgotten? Rose Lin even borrowed money from you?
Dad, can you lend us some money?
How many times must I tell you? I'm your uncle, not your father.
Sorry, brother. Luke made a mistake.
Forget it. Kids make mistakes sometimes. Are you short on cash?
$5 would do.
Sister-in-law, common sense says you've lived frugally and worked steadily. You must have savings? So why are you borrowing $5 from Peter?
Luke Zane isn't like me. I have a dad he doesn't.
Never mind. She's struggling too. Just lend it to her. But let's be clear. What's borrowed must be returned.
That did happen. Who would have thought she'd stoop to such things?
Seems to me Rose Lin's broke and borrowing gambling money. You know how gamblers think? And her visit to parents' story? She took everything when she left. Must have known Scarface was coming for debts. Plus, she even took the kid.
She took everything?
Rosalind's gone. Once I'm rid of you two old burdens, this house will finally be completely mine.
This is a sin. Alan Zane, you're wrong. Dead wrong. You'll regret this.
She can't even be bothered to clean my shrine anymore. But clearly, she prays for me day and night, insisting on cleaning my shrine every single day. Seems like she's run off with those debts after all. Rose Lin, I never would have guessed you'd stoop this low. You rack up debts yourself, then flee with our son, expecting me to clean up your mess? Rose Lin, have you no conscience?
Peter, am I wrong? If she just visited her family, why would she take everything with her?
Dad, that Luke Zane has sticky fingers too. He always sneaks and steals the candies you bought me.
Jenny, Tina, don't worry. I'll make sure you get justice. Rose Lin and Luke Zane will apologize to you both. That 8,000 debt, she'll repay every cent herself.
Rose Lin, your husband faked his death to be with me. I'll make him willingly help me settle all those debts.
Rose Lin, get out here right now. Rose Lin.
Peter Zane? Didn't you go to your commander's wedding?
Uncle, I need to discuss something with Rose Lin. Wait. How did you know today is our commander's wedding?
Our families have been close with the Jones for generations. That job of yours? Rose begged me to arrange this job for you. Of course I'd know about it. If you're looking for Rose, why come to my house?
Are you saying my position was arranged by Rose Lin through you?
What's wrong with you? 3 years ago, when Alan passed away, Rose specifically went to her father to see if we could find you a position. Over this matter, Rose cried all night. Her father only agreed because he couldn't bear seeing her suffer.
That's not true. Impossible. It wasn't like that. Jenny, Commander Jones just called me. I'm reporting to the military base tomorrow. From now on, I'll officially be part of the military.
So this means the plan worked. It's not in vain for me to beg my father.
Jenny, you're my lucky charm. Don't worry. From now on, I'll always treat you and our daughter right.
Just like Luke Zane, you're such a crybaby.
That's absolutely not what happened. It wasn't like this. It was clearly Jenny who arranged this job for me. You're just trying to protect Rose Lin. How dare you spout such nonsense to my face?
Who do you think you are? If Rose hadn't begged me in tears, would I even bring this up? 3 whole years. Have you ever come to see me?
If it was Rose Lin who got me this job, why hasn't she ever mentioned it to me?
Rose feels indebted to you. That's why she wants to repay you in her own way. But our Rose hates using favors as leverage to make you feel obligated. How could you think that Rose's father is covering for her?
Rose Lin's a hopeless gambler. She owes 8,000. Debt collectors came to my home, demanding payment. You're all protecting her, helping her evade debts.
How dare you slander us? I know my own daughter. Has she ever had a good day with your Zane family?
Peter Zane, Rose will return tomorrow. We'll get to the truth of this matter. If Rose truly borrowed 8,000, the Lin family will repay every cent. If not, you must properly apologize to our Rose.
Get out now.
Out.
Could it be? I've wronged Rose. It can't be Jenny. It has to be Rose Lin. Commander Jones, Peter Zane requests an audience.
Comrade Peter, visiting so late at night. What brings you here? Comrade Peter.
Commander Jones, I wanted to ask about my job assignment years ago. Did my sister-in-law's parents come to you for help?
Yes, that's correct. I've known Rose's parents since long ago. Knowing you're a decent person, I agreed to help.
So, it was Rose who arranged this. I see. Thank you, Commander. I won't disturb you and Madam any longer. I'll take my leave now.
Luke, do you like your new dad?
He's good to Mommy and good to me. I really like him.
Seems Luke genuinely likes Julian Jones. Not just saying that to please me.
Luke, do you love Daddy more or Mommy more?
It's Mommy, of course. My mom is the best. Mommy in the whole world.
Funny. I like your mom, too.
It's getting late. Time for bed, Luke.
What happened?
Earlier, someone came looking for you.
Not sure why, but your brother Peter Zane suddenly approached me, asking if I was the one who arranged his job before.
Did Alan Zane really come verify the job matter with Julian Jones? You've worked hard today. Rest. I'll handle this.
Rose, have a seat. Rose, you and Luke should make yourselves at home. No need to be formal at all. When I'm free, I'll help with household chores that I can manage.
Thank you, Julian.
Rose, I should be thanking you. If you hadn't agreed to marry me, I might still be single to this day. By the way, since we just moved in today and you must be exhausted, go rest now. I'll handle everything here.
My parents told me Julian has loved me for years. After I got married, he remained single. When I became a widow, he wanted to marry me again. But at that time, I insisted on observing mourning for Alan Zane. So Julian Jones waited 3 more years, which is why we've postponed our wedding until now. Now I realize Julian Jones's devotion to me runs just as deep as my love for Alan Zane.
Rose Lin, how dare you owe someone at 8,000? 8,000, how dare you?
Peter, what are you doing?
Jenny, God, why are you here?
Why shouldn't it be me? Or were you expecting your sister-in-law?
That's not what I meant.
Then what did you mean? For this job opportunity, you actually went to her house to verify? But this position was clearly secured for you by my family.
The commander said the same thing. Could the commander be protecting Rose Lin too? But
You went to confirm it yourself, didn't you? You'd rather trust them than believe your own wife?
How dare I not trust you?
Think carefully. Those are Rose Lin's parents. They'd obviously cover for her. Now the debt collectors will come after US instead.
The commander's close with the Jones family. They might conspire to protect their interests. What a vile scheme. Why wasn't I told? Since when does she play such tricks? When I find her, I'll get answers.
I'm leaving for work. Feed your mother and bathe her.
Dad, I know. Just go, already. These chores were always Jenny's responsibility. No breakfast today?
I overslept.
Wasn't Rose Lin handling breakfast?
Tina, she's your aunt. What did you just say? What did you just say?
I'll get right on it.
Go ahead and eat. I will go grocery shopping.
Dad, you should eat first.
Luke, how many times have I told you? I'm your uncle, not your father. And another thing, this meal was made by your aunt, right? Why didn't you wait for her to eat first? That's incredibly rude.
Breakfast was made by my mom.
Made by your mom? You've worked hard, dear.
It's nothing. As long as you're happy, I'll cook for you every day.
So, for 3 years, every breakfast was made by Rose waking up early to prepare for us. Remember to prepare a portion for Mom, too. Then give Mom a bath.
What? Now I have to bathe her too?
Before, wasn't this your responsibility?
For the house and inheritance, I've endured this. Once we get rid of those 2 old fools, I'll finally be free. I'll take care of it now. Dinner's ready.
Shouldn't you take some to Mom first?
Dad, these buns taste terrible.
These buns aren't cooked through. So, it wasn't me caring for Rose and her child these 3 years, but Rose caring for us all this time. What's wrong with me? Jenny helped Rose Lin balance the debts all these years. What's wrong with her making breakfast? I'll go heat it up.
Jenny thought...
Eat faster. Hurry up and eat or I'll smack you.
What's wrong?
Mom doesn't seem hungry. Old fool, keep talking nonsense and I'll end you.
If Mom doesn't want to eat, don't force her. Just wipe her down.
Daughter-in-law, you...
Daughter-in-law? How dare you?
It hurt. It hurt.
Mom, what is it?
Son, do you regret it?
Mom, what are you talking about? What regret?
It was always Rose taking care of me. She was so patient. The eldest daughter-in-law is nowhere near as good.
Mom, wasn't it Jenny caring for you before? Rose only occasionally helped out. How can you say that?
You've brought her home for 3 years, or she's never once taken care of me. It's always been Rose tending to me with care. Are you blind?
What did you say? So, it's been Rose taking care of Mom all along. But Jenny kept telling me she made breakfast and took care of Mom herself. I should have realized sooner.
Peter, realize what?
Are you lying to me? You claim to have cooked breakfast for 3 years, yet you can't even steam a bun properly. And you said you've cared for Mom 3 years, but even when wiping her body, you rub her arms raw. Does this look like someone experienced in caregiving?
I'm just in a bad mood today.
Enough. Get out.
Son, do you regret it? Listen to your mother. Go talk to Rose properly. Married couples, the original match is always best.
Mom, you should rest now. Rose just went back to her parents. She'll come back.
When will you understand? Rose has completely lost hope this time. She won't return.
Impossible. Rose mourned for me 3 years. She can't possibly remarry. This is her home. If she stays with her parents, she'll be the talk of the town. Eventually, she'll have to come crawling back. No, I need to go. I must get answers.
Madam? Attention, everyone! Unload the goods. Move them into the Lin residence.
Yes.
Wayne, what's all this?
Madam, the commander said, since your marriage, this is your first visit home. Either way, we can't let others think you've married beneath you.
Whoa, but there's so much stuff! Dad's so thoughtful!
These gifts are too extravagant. This is...
When Uncle came back with us before, he barely brought anything.
Our commander hit the jackpot, marrying you. Madam, the commander's loaded. Just the inheritance from his parents is massive. Plus his mission bonuses. Add up quick. Don't worry.
Rose, when I make it big, I'll give you a grand homecoming, worthy of you. No embarrassment.
Dad, I believe in you. You'll make millions one day.
Alan, your determination means everything.
Let's go.
Soldiers, fall in. Madam, mission accomplished. Reporting back now.
Thank you all. Stay for dinner.
Uncle Lester, we appreciate you. Try Grandma's cooking.
This is the commander's first formal family visit. Important family occasion. We shouldn't intrude. Moving out. Men, mount up.
Sir.
Madam, Take care.
Goodbye, madam.
Later, madam.
See how thoughtful Julian is? Rose's life with him must be bliss.
Exactly. I noticed long ago. That boy's always adored our Rose since childhood.
Grandma! Grandpa! I've missed you so much!
Dad. Mom.
Just glad you're home.
Dear, you've lost weight.
Told you. Our simple life versus her luxury. All these fancy appliances you brought.
Rose Lin, care to explain?
What explanation?
Rose Lin. You owe Scarface $8,000. When will you pay it back? They've already tracked you down to our home. You can buy all these appliances, but can't repay your debts?
Because of this mess, they came to our house. If you don't pay $8,000 by tomorrow, they'll take our house.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Sis, are you really clueless or just pretending? Your gambling debt. When will you settle it?
Gambling?
Rose Lin, when exactly did you become like this? You dared to gamble and drag Jenny into this, to take the blame. How dare you?
Rose, answer me truthfully. Did you borrow money for gambling? If yes, I'll pay it off for you, and you come home for good.
Grandpa, Mom didn't gamble or owe anyone money. It's Auntie. Every time people come for her debts, Mom covers them for her.
Luke, since when did you learn to lie? And your habit? Why do you keep stealing candies I buy for Tina?
Dad, Luke Zane's a thief.
Luke's character. I know better than anyone. No outsiders get to judge here. I get it now. So this is about debt collectors coming for you. You don't want to pay, so you're dragging us in? Trying to make me cover her debt, right?
Sis-in-law, you cover for me. The debt collectors are already at your door. They're explicitly demanding you repay these $8,000.
So you thought that way too?
Isn't that the truth? If you hadn't accumulated debt with your savings, you could have easily supported yourself and your child. Why did you have to borrow from me?
Thank you, brother.
About today's incident, you must apologize to Jenny and Luke. Must apologize to Tina.
Sis-in-law, I understand. You're without a man in the household. Resorting to this was your last option, but you should have told us. We're all family here. Blood binds us together. We could have totally stood united and figured this out as one.
Hold on. What's this about borrowing money? When our Rose married into the Zane family, she brought a substantial dowry. That money should have ensured her lifelong comfort.
Rose?
What dowry? Since I joined the Zane household, Rose Lin's had nothing to her name.
Rose Lin, have you lost your mind? Every time you owed money, Jenny helped you settle your debts. How dare you hit her? Have you no shame? If not for these 3 years, mourning my brother, you'd have lost your right to stay with the Zanes long ago. Apologize. You will apologize today.
Alan Zane, you're utterly clueless.
What did she just call me?
You really can't wait, can you? You can't even get the names right. How ridiculous.
Where's my father, Peter Zane? Not Sir Luke Zane's father, Alan Zane. You're as foolish as Luke Zane.
Who wants to fight you for a father? A father like this, no one would want.
Since you want to know, I'll tell you everything. The one in debt is Jenny Kent. The reason I borrowed money from you is because my savings were used to pay off her debts. As for the dowry, it's already been mortgaged.
Aren't you supposed to avoid wearing jewelry during mourning? Darling, you're so wealthy. Such a large dowry. But when we got married, I couldn't give you anything.
If one day our family can't afford food, I'll pawn all this jewelry to support us.
With a wife like you, what more could a husband ask for? Darling, don't worry, I promise. I'll work hard to earn and provide for you.
It's okay. We'll focus on making our own lives better.
Mom's dowry has long been sold out.
Could it be that I've misunderstood Rose all along? Impossible. That was her most cherished possession. How could she bear to? This can't be true. You guarded that dowry so preciously. How could you sell it for money?
Rose, how much have you suffered?
Rose, your mother and I warned you to remarry. You never listened.
I was blind before, worried the Zane family would have no heir. I thought Alan Zane saved me, and I'd sacrifice everything for him. But now I realize how terribly wrong I was.
No.
You pawned that dowry. Doesn't this prove you used it to pay off gambling debts?
Exactly. She's just like Luke Zane, always lying.
What are you afraid of?
What should I fear?
You fear I'll return to Zane family and claim his inheritance. You never loved the man himself. You wanted his family's wealth. You're vain, coveting all this.
What nonsense are you spouting? I gave Peter a child.
Tina Zane is also 7 years old. Seems your marriage and Alan Zane's happened around the same time.
Alan and I were born minutes apart. I became the elder brother by mere chance. Our weddings weren't far apart either. What's suspicious about that? Rose Lin. Could she have discovered my death was faked?
What's happening here? What's happening here? Comrade Peter, what are you doing here?
I came to collect the debt from her.
Debt collection?
Let me introduce my husband, Julian Jones.
Husband? Sister-in-law. Commander Jones. How could he be your husband? You must be joking, right?
What? I married Rose Lin. Got a problem with that?
Of course not. Commander Jones. I wouldn't dare.
Rose Lin. How could you remarry?
My husband is dead. Why shouldn't I remarry?
But you swore you'd stay loyal to Alan for the rest of your life.
I was misguided before. I believe if Alan is watching from heaven, he'd want me to find happiness again. Besides, Luke absolutely adores his new father.
Daddy, where have you been?
Luke, I was tied up with work. Now that it's settled, I came straight to you.
Is he really the commander's son? Is she really the commander's wife?
Luke Zane, how could you call someone else father?
Uncle, this is my new father. Why can't I call him that? Uncle, this is my new father. Why can't I call him that?
Rose Lin actually remarried and took her son with her. How could this happen? Does this mean...
Remarriage is a personal choice. Why can't Rose Lin remarry?
Commander Jones, sir, I'm so sorry. Peter acted impulsively. We'll leave immediately. Peter, let's go. Just leave already. Go.
Julian's here. Let's go inside.
Okay.
Why are you pulling me?
If I hadn't pulled you out, your job issues would have been exposed. Peter, calm down first. He's the commander. One word from him, and you'll lose your job. Why offend someone so powerful?
Why was Jenny Kent so anxious to drag me out? Could it be she's afraid the job she arranged for me would be exposed?
Our families have been close for generations. Your job was arranged only after Rose begged me to help. Do you think I wouldn't know? Why come to my house looking for Rose?
It's true. I've known Rose's parents since long ago. After confirming your decent character, I agreed to help.
Let's go back for now.
What about the 8,000?
We'll handle it later. Let's cover it temporarily. After the commander leaves, we'll confront her. She can't escape this.
Rose Lin. Did you really remarry and take our son with you?
Let me introduce my husband, Julian Jones.
Why did you take him away? Why choose this path? Why? Why did you betray me? Why? I've always treated you well. I never forgot you and our son, no matter what I had. I always shared it with you. How could you change so abruptly? How did this happen?
Alan Zane, you're such a fool.
Could it be Rose Lin knows the truth, that I'm still alive? Impossible. I hid it perfectly. There's no way she could have discovered I didn't die.
He's my real father. Dad, what's this? I want some too.
How many times must I tell you? I'm your uncle, not your father. Luke, you used to call me Dad all the time. Why change now?
I was too young before to understand you're my uncle. Now I know the truth. My real father died 3 years ago. I promise I won't mix it up again.
For 3 years, Luke persistently called me Dad. No matter how I corrected him, he wouldn't stop. No wonder that day. During dinner, he suddenly changed how he addressed me. I'm sorry. This is all my fault. Rose, Luke, please come back to me. Come back home. Rose, Luke, you've come back.
Hard work never betrays the dedicated. You two finally ended up together.
Dad, Mom, when will you two give me a baby sister?
What does a child know?
You're truly my precious grandson. This proposal is excellent.
Rose, while your father and I still have energy to help care for the baby, hurry up and have one.
Since your parents have assigned this mission, I'll do my best to accomplish it.
Enough with this mission talk. Don't act silly in front of the child.
Julian,
tonight,
join me for a couple more drinks.
Deal.
Come, let's eat.
Eat.
Since being with Daddy Jones, Mom smiles much more often.
Rosalind, Luke, you're back.
Peter? Peter, how could you turn your brother's memorial into this state?
Jenny, I'm sorry. I deceived you. I'm not actually Peter Zane. I'm Alan Zane.
Peter, what nonsense are you spouting?
Forgive me. I lied to you. Seeing you mother and daughter in such a pitiful state, I used Peter Zane's identity to bring you home.
I know.
You knew? You knew? When did you find out?
I knew all along. Your hidden motives were obvious to anyone watching.
You knew perfectly well. So why pretend otherwise?
Exactly. I clearly knew. How could I not notice? But what could I possibly do without a man to provide for this family? How are we supposed to survive? Weren't you willing to?
Have you ever considered Rose became a widow because of you? How hard it's been raising a son alone? Do you even care? How can you be so heartless?
That's not my concern. Her own husband showed no care for her. Your own wife and child mean nothing to you? You expect me, an outsider, to care for her instead? Peter.
Dad.
Dad, why aren't you more careful?
I have you to help me.
It doesn't hurt much, Luke. Be good for me now. This will be over soon.
All right. Daddy will do as you say. Come here. Oh, if it were Luke, he'd rush to check on me immediately.
Alan Zane, this act you're putting on now, who's it even for? Rose Lin took Luke Zane and left. They won't be coming back. Now this house, and all the assets, belong to us. Isn't this better?
Tina, come to Daddy.
Alan Zane, what are you doing? Tina isn't your daughter.
What did you say? What did you say?
Alan Zane, right now we're in the same boat. Rose Lin and Luke Zane will never forgive you. You deceived her and her son for 3 years. If you can, settle that 8,000 debt for me. I'll bear you a son. We'll be a family of 4. Living happily together. Wouldn't that be perfect?
Jenny Kent, you're heartless.
Takes one to know one. Didn't you deceive Rose Lin and her child for 3 years too? We two are made for each other.
I'm such a damned fool. I've raised this daughter for 3 years, and she's not even my own blood. Rose, when I make it big someday, I'll make sure you return home in glory. I'll never embarrass you.
Dad, I believe in you. I know someday you'll strike it rich.
Alan, your determination is enough for me.
Let's go. Alan Zane, you chose 2 outsiders over your own family who truly loved you, your wife and son. You deserve this. I'll find Rose and Luke to apologize, even if it takes 10 years or 20. I'll wait. I'll beg for their forgiveness. I know they'll forgive me eventually.
Jenny, where are you headed? We've been searching everywhere for you.
Why are you after me? You should find Rose Lin.
Who's Rose Lin? Why should we find her?
Rose Lin's the one who owes you money. Go collect from her.
You witch!
Stop.
It's you again. Perfect timing.
We've lived together for 3 years. I can't let them bully the mother and daughter. Scarface, you promised 3 more days. Tomorrow's the deadline.
I need to track them down first. They might flee by tomorrow.
Rose Lin's debt to you. I'll find a way to repay it. I've failed Rose Lin and our child for 3 years. This is how I'll make it right.
Your family's drama is truly entertaining. Rose Lin owes me nothing.
Scarface!
Who gave you the right to speak here? This woman owes me money. She's responsible.
Are you saying Jenny Kent owes the debt?
Obviously. Black and white contract. Debts demand proper payment. She's the debtor. Of course I will go after her.
My mother's dowry was sold long ago.
You racked up debts, then lied to me, blaming Rose Lin. You kicked her out and ruined her reputation.
She's wealthy enough to cover my 8,000. So what? Besides, she married into money.
Jenny Kent, how could you be so heartless? You're pure evil.
Enough. I don't care about your mess. Pay up today, or pay with your life.
Alan! Alan! Help me! Alan!
Mom!
You made this debt. You pay it. You made this debt? You pay it?
That won't do. She's already put this house up as collateral. If there's no money in the account tomorrow, this house is mine.
Alan, after 3 years of working like a horse for this family, have some mercy. Save me.
Worked like a horse. When did Sister Jenny ever go out without those young boys gambling with her, head-to-toe luxury brands? When would you even have time to work?
3 years you've brought her home, but she never once cared for me. It was always Rose who took care of everything. Are you blind?
So, I was the one who messed up. I wronged Rose and Luke.
That little wife of yours is quite something. The debts this bitch racked up were all paid by her. Heard she's a widow now. Why not introduce her to me? I'll treat her right. Bastard, how dare you hit me? Get him. Stop. 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 Brat, listen up. If there's no money in the account by tomorrow, I'll bulldoze this place. Fall back. Take these 2 bitches with us.
Alan, let's go. Alan.
Long ago, there was a little match girl. On that freezing New Year's Eve, she was selling matches on the streets. But no one bought her matches. He fell asleep so fast.
Luke's asleep?
He's out. The little one played all day at his grandparents', must be exhausted. Now he's sound asleep.
You've worked hard. Come, have an apple.
No, thank you. Rose, I've saved this money over the years. From now on, you're the mistress of this household. That's why it's all under your care.
No, this isn't right. It's too much. Luke and I don't need much.
This savings was meant for our marriage.
Luke and I lived simply at the Zane household, but only one day after our wedding day, Julian Jones handed over all his savings to me. No matter what, I won't betray his trust.
Now, time to fulfill the task our parents gave us.
Wait, hold on.
Dad, you're home.
What happened to you?
Sorry, I'm so sorry. Rose, is that you? Rose. It's really you. You came back.
Son, what happened to you?
Dad, Rose would never return, right?
If you had known, things would come to this.
Dad, I was wrong. You were right. Rose gave everything for this family.
Here, son. Son, own your mistakes. Face the consequences. There's still hope. After all, you and Rose were lawfully married.
Listen, son, your father's right. Show genuine remorse. Apologize sincerely to Rose. She'll come back.
This house now belongs to me. Throw them out. Now.
Scarface, you can't do this, Scarface.
Get up. Move.
What are you doing? Let me go.
Starting today, this house is mine. What are you staring at? Get lost now. Go away. Out.
Dad, are you okay?
look what you've done. After all we've sacrificed, we raised you all these years for nothing. How could you do something like this?
This family, if it weren't for Rose Lin, we would have fallen apart long ago.
Dad, Mom. This is all my fault. I failed Rose Lin. Dad, please, you have to help me. If you could just talk to her, Rose Lin might forgive me. She'll come back.
If you knew this would happen, why did you act that way? Even if I try, Rose Lin might not change her mind.
Dad, I'm begging you.
Old man, look at our life now. What kind of life is this? We lost our home, and our grandchild is gone.
Enough. Mary, later, properly apologize to Rose Lin.
Okay, I'll sincerely make amends.
Julian, Luke.
All right, Luke, dinner's ready. Come here. You're too thin, so I added an extra egg.
Dad, you should eat too.
Luke, that won't do. You're still growing. You need to eat more. Here, have some meat. You should eat more too. Hey, just sit and relax. I'll clean up.
Ever since marrying Julian Jones, he's never once let me do any chores. Compared to life with the Zanes, this feels like paradise.
Rose, go wash the dishes.
Rose.
These trivial matters are women's work anyway. When your father and I were young, isn't this how it was done?
Mom, let me help.
My precious grandson shouldn't be washing dishes.
I'll do it.
Rose Lin. Rose Lin. Rose Lin.
Dad, Mom, what are you doing here? Alan Zane, what else do you want?
Rose, I was wrong. I truly know I messed up.
What do you want me to say?
Hit me. Hit me. Rose, you've already found out, haven't you? I didn't die and deceived you all this time. Do whatever you want with me. Just let your anger out.
Rose Lin, why don't you vent on him instead? After all,
I won't vent my anger on you, because I don't care about you anymore.
How could that be? Rose, how could you not care? Even I think I'm utterly guilty.
Alan Zane, during the 3 years I mourned for you, everyone told Luke you were dead. But Luke never stopped, eagerly calling you Dad every time. How did you treat him? At school, Luke suffered humiliation. Did you know? His classmates secretly mocked him for being fatherless. He bore this shame for 3 years. Do you know his pain?
I know. I was wrong.
You know, when you treated Tina Zane as your own daughter, did you consider Luke's feelings? Luke won't forgive you. That's your own doing.
Mom.
Even if Rose remarries, it won't change. Luke is our biological child, as long as Luke.
Uncle, why are you here?
Luke, I'm your dad. Haven't you always recognized me?
You told me not to call you Dad. Now I've admitted you're Uncle. Why aren't you happy?
Luke, it's Grandpa.
Grandpa, Grandma, Uncle, we've already started a new family. My new dad treats us well. Don't come here to disturb us again. I don't want my new dad to misunderstand.
Luke, Rose, Jenny Kent and Tina Zane have been expelled from the Zane family. If you come back, we 3 can start over as a family.
Uncle, what does that have to do with us? We're living happily now. Don't come interrupting our lives again.
Dad, Mom, brother, please leave. We're doing fine now. There's no need to worry.
Rose.
Rose.
Comrade Peter, why are you here? Is there any urgent matter?
If there's nothing,
then you can leave right now. I've noticed my wife becomes upset whenever she sees you. Therefore, please stop bothering my wife and Luke any longer.
Dad, I don't like them.
Let's go home.
Rose, how can you be so heartless? I'm Luke's biological father. He needs his real dad.
You were the one who abandoned Rose. This is all your own fault. How many times must I tell you?
Time's up. Seems your man won't come to save you.
Scarface, but I'm really broke now.
Don't hit my mom.
Scarface, I've got a plan. There's a way to get money.
Let's hear it.
I had a sister-in-law. She remarried. Her husband's loaded. Just kidnap his son. Not just 8,000. 80,000's possible.
You know what happens if you lie?
I'd never dare trick you.
Good. Wouldn't think you would.
Rose, what's wrong? It's been an hour. Why aren't they leaving?
Forget it. I'll go. Julian, you treat Luke as your own. I'll support this family. Won't let you worry about home affairs.
Okay, if you can't handle it, you must tell me immediately.
Rose Lin.
Rose, many things in the past were all Alan's fault, but you were a married couple. Everyone knows each other well.
Dad, Mom, Alan Zane and I, our relationship is over. Please, don't try to persuade me anymore.
Rose, your mom is right. A married couple. The original spouse is always the best.
Alan Zane brought this on himself, so he should be responsible. I have never failed you, but you knew. Alan Zane faked his death. You kept it from me for 3 years. Before Rose Lin remarried, wasn't she a widow of the Zane family? These are her former in-laws.
These in-laws are so shameless. Their daughter-in-law has already remarried.
And they're still clinging to her.
What's even worse is, their son faked his own death, but these in-laws acted like they didn't know.
When did you find out?
Rose, this matter, after all, we are sorry to you.
When you weren't home, the debt collectors took the house away. We now have nowhere to go.
Sister-in-law loves to gamble. She did this to herself. She should be responsible. Dad, Mom, I've started a new life. Please, don't bother me anymore.
Grandpa, don't you ever come to our house again, or my dad will misunderstand.
Your dad is Alan.
My dad already died 3 years ago. Now, my dad is Julian Jones. He's the regiment commander.
Luke, Dad bought you this new backpack and new school supplies and new toys.
Uncle, you should go take care of Aunt's daughter. I really like the old backpack. Mom sewed for me. Mom, I'm off to school.
Go ahead. You heard that? Your son said it himself. He never wants to see you again. Just get out.
Rose, you?
He faked his death and abandoned Rose Lin and her son.
How dare he come begging for Rose Lin's forgiveness?
He just can't stand seeing Rose Lin thrive. Now that she's married to the commander, he's just jealous.
No one wants their happiness more than I do. Dad?
You've brought this on yourself. If I were Rose Lin, I wouldn't forgive you either. Mary, let's go.
Tina Zane? What is this?
Can't you tell by looking?
Julian, what do we do? Luke's been kidnapped. They're demanding we see 80,000.
Rose.
Julian, please save Luke. Luke's been kidnapped.
Don't panic, Rose. No matter how dire it seems, there's always a solution.
Julian, I can't lose Luke. I need to see Luke safe.
Rose, trust me. I'll bring Luke home safely. Before 7 p.m. tonight, I'll bring back Luke unharmed. There now. Dry your tears. Rest now, Rose. Leave everything. To me. Come. My son's been kidnapped. Mobilize everyone. Tear this city apart, stone by stone, until we find him.
Commander Jones, why did you summon me here?
Bring him in.
Look up.
Know him.
Yes, he's my lackey.
This morning, my men saw him loitering near the compound. Just then my son was kidnapped. Isn't that just a bit too convenient? I promised my wife, before 7 tonight, I'd bring our son home, unharmed. Scarface, you wouldn't make me break that promise, would you?
Luke Zane is Commander Jones's son. This can't be happening. I'll investigate immediately.
Within 30 minutes, will I see the boy?
Commander Jones, with all these operations under my control, I need to check each one by one.
Kidnapping civilians, drag him out and execute him.
Commander Jones, within half an hour, I'll bring the boy.
Just 30 minutes.
Scram.
Scarface. Well, did that batch Rose Linney bring the ransom for Luke Zane?
Oh no, no way.
Scarface, what did you say?
Don't hit my mom.
Scarface, why are you hitting me?
Beating you up. I'm already showing you mercy by not killing you. Commander Jones's son. How dare you kidnap him? You're asking for death.
Commander Jones's son. This can't be happening. Rose Lynn just remarried yesterday. How could Luke Zane possibly be Commander Jones's son?
Luke, Uncle made a mistake. I'll take you home right now. Let me untie you first. I'm taking you back immediately. Let's go. Come on.
Auntie, my mother taught me since childhood, never wish harm upon others, but you stole our lives.
How dare you? Why should you and your mother live so comfortably? Why did I end up like this?
Take both of them away. Luke, let's go home.
Mom?
Luke.
Mom, I'm okay.
Who did this to him?
It was her. When we found out the young master was Commander Jones's son, we didn't dare lay a finger on him.
What about Luke's kidnapping?
That was also her. She said you remarried into wealth, living comfortably now. This is your beloved child. So kidnapping him would make you pay up to settle her debts.
Scarface, you agreed to this.
Hey, I never agreed. Madam, we wouldn't dare kidnap someone in a military compound. We just wanted the money, not to risk our lives.
Luke, from now on, whatever happens, we won't hold back anymore.
Mom, I'm really fine. Don't be angry. If you get angry, Luke will feel so sad for you.
Good kid, Luke. I'm sorry. I failed to protect you.
Sis-in-law, Sis-in-law,
Madam is fierce.
Hey!
Commander, shouldn't we step in? She'll get bullied any minute now.
This is military compound grounds. Let's see who dares touch my wife.
How dare you hit me?
You...
Peter will never forgive you.
Do I need Peter Zane's forgiveness? I honestly thought I've been good to the Zane family. All those times when debt collectors came knocking. I fixed everything for you. I solved your problems. And Tina Zane. When I made clothes for Luke, I always made her a matching set. Sis-in-law, I made this for Tina with my own hands.
Thanks, sis-in-law.
Sister-in-law, elder brother's always been kind. This is my small way of showing gratitude. But you? This is how you repay me? Kidnapping Luke? How could an elder stoop to this?
So what? Those rags you sew? Who wants that junk? Ah.
This slap is for your heartlessness. This slap is for your heartlessness. Luke has always treated you like family, never once thought of harming you, yet you repaid kindness with evil, dared to orchestrate his kidnapping?
I repay kindness with evil. So what? Who told you to marry so well? Who told you to be so wealthy? You could easily pay off my debts. What's wrong with that? The commander's wife is assaulting people.
Rose, does your hand hurt? From this moment, I'll handle everything.
Commander Jones, she's the reason. She's the mastermind behind the young master's kidnapping.
So what if it was me? Even as the commander's wife, you can't just hit people.
If I recall correctly, your comrade Peter Zane's wife, by protocol. You were my wife's sister-in-law, correct?
Even if...
How could you be so malicious?
Kidnapping.
Carries what penalty? Death by
execution.
Commander Jones, I was wrong. I shouldn't have acted on impulse. I should never have ordered Luke's kidnapping. Commander Jones, please forgive me. I'm sorry.
Don't hurt my mother.
Sister-in-law, after these 3 years living together, considering how Peter's cared for you both all this time, please put in a good word for us.
Luke, what should we do?
Mom, let it go. I don't want to punish them.
Since Luke's letting this go, count yourselves lucky.
Thank you, Luke.
I'm only doing this for Tina's sake, that I'm letting this slide. As for Peter Zane, his so-called care for us is just guilt-driven compensation for his own failings. You must know, Peter Zane is actually Alan Zane, yet he kept usurping another's life. This deception disgusts me.
What choice did I have? No man in our household. Just mother and daughter alone. How were we supposed to survive?
Is this your excuse to steal someone's family?
Peter came of his own free will.
Never show your face around me or Luke again.
Commander Jones, since the young master is safely back now, we'll take our leave.
Hold on. I heard Comrade Peter Zane's property was seized by you.
How did this matter reach Commander Jones's ears? Surely he doesn't intend to confiscate it outright. Jenny Kent owed us money. The house was collateral.
Get lost.
Understood.
Madam, you're fierce. Those slaps were shocking. I thought you'd have me arrest them on the spot.
Since Luke spoke up, we'll let it go.
Aunt was desperate when she did this. Mom taught me before. Never harbor ill intentions, but always stay vigilant.
Are Luke so kind-hearted?
Don't worry, Dad. I'll behave well and stay out of trouble.
Luke, from now on, whatever you want to do, just go for it boldly. I'll always have your back.
Dad, I'm hungry.
Got it. I'll take you to eat right now. Let's go.
You betch.
Dare trick me? Move it.
Get her. Take her back.
Tina, run.
Come here. Freeze.
Stop. Scarface. I was wrong. I admit my mistake. Please. Scarface.
Realizing now. Too late. Take her away.
Scarface.
Wait for me.
Rose, this compensation fund from the factory after my fake death was held by Dad. Now I'm giving it to you. Keep it safe. Use it however you need.
You think this makes up for abandoning us? Let me be clear. In this lifetime, neither me nor our son will ever forgive you.
Mom, both me and sister want fish.
Okay, I'll make fish stew tonight.
Are those Grandpa and Grandma? They look so pitiful. Mom, let's get them some food. Grandpa, here's some steamed buns.
Luke, Mary, quick, eat while it's warm.
They're still hot. Rose, sorry you had to see this.
This is Luke's token of care. Please take it.
Rose, Alan wanted me to give this to you.
Rose, these 3 years with you have been the brightest in my bleak life. I won't beg forgiveness, but hope you and our son live safely forever.
This means nothing to me or Luke. Let's go, Luke.
Luke, Granny misses you so much.
I never saw Alan Zane or his parents again. Only then did I realize. After he came to see me that day, he went to turn himself in, confessing everything he'd done, holding nothing back, whether it was faking his death or having inappropriate relationships. In the end, he was sentenced to 10 years in prison.
Mom, why hasn't the baby been moving?
The baby needs rest too.
I wish the baby could come sooner. Then I can protect her.
Good boy.
Mom, when my sister and I grow up together, we'll make sure to protect you.
All right.
Rose, dinner's ready.
Coming.
Let me help you, Mom.
Rose, careful. Take it slow.
You two men are impossible.
We can't risk disturbing the pregnancy. Let's eat. Mom. Rose.
Have some meat.